Have you ever met someone brilliant, well-read, disciplined, and broke? Someone who follows all the rules, works hard, does everything right, yet money always slips through their fingers? Maybe. That person is you. Here's the brutal truth most never face. Making real money has nothing to do with logic. It has everything to do with human emotion. Until you understand this, not just intellectually, but emotionally, you will keep chasing strategy after strategy, wondering why none of them stick. Because the mind doesn't move for logic, it moves for desire. And Dale Carnegie, the man who rewired how the world understands influence, left us a hidden principle most ignore: the mirror of desire. This single idea, applied with precision, can unlock a level of income, influence, and opportunity you've never imagined. But first, you need to kill the smartest lie in the room. Smart people stay broke because they treat money like math. They believe if they just offer enough value, prove their worth, speak with logic and intelligence, the world will reward them. But here's the twist. Money isn't logical. It's emotional. It flows not to those who deserve it, but to those who trigger desire. Neuroscience proves it. Decisions are made in the emotional brain first, and reason is just the lawyer hired to justify the verdict. You don't buy the best. You buy what makes you feel something. That's why the broke genius loses to the confident fool. Because the fool understands something the genius refuses to accept. Logic doesn't sell. Desire does. Carnegie knew this. He taught not to appeal to reason, but to reflect what people crave, even when they can't say it out loud. That's the mirror of desire. People don't buy a car. They buy status. They don't want coaching. They want freedom. They don't want your offer. They want the feeling it gives them. And until you stop selling features and start reflecting dreams, you'll stay invisible. Here's how you shift. Never lead with what you do. Lead with what they fear or what they crave. Speak to the emotion behind the need. If you sell fitness, don't talk about reps. Talk about self-respect. If you sell marketing, don't mention tools. Talk about becoming undeniable. You're not here to explain. You're here to awaken. So why do most people ignore this? Because they're too busy trying to sound smart and not busy enough trying to feel understood. But once you get this, everything changes. Because when you speak desire, people lean in. When you reflect their wants, resistance disappears. And when you master this mirror, money stops being a mystery and starts becoming a magnet. Influence doesn't start with words. It starts with silence. It starts with seeing what others don't say, because most people won't tell you what they really want. Why? Because they often don't know themselves. Money is compressed emotion. It's a storage unit for hope, fear, power, shame. And if you want to make it, you need to learn to read it, not just in bank accounts, but in faces, tones, hesitations. Dale Carnegie taught that true influence comes not from talking, but from listening, not just to the words, but to the pauses between them. The real sale happens in that silence, in what someone didn't say, but desperately hoped you'd understand. So how do you detect the unspoken financial pain? You look for what people avoid. You listen for what triggers them. When someone says, "It's not about the money," it's almost always about the money. When they laugh nervously, change the subject, or over-explain, they're hiding a financial fear. Carnegie's genius was this. He could make people feel safe enough to confess their real desire. And once that door opens, the sale is already made. Because people don't buy from you. They buy their own transformation through you. This is where emotional echo becomes your secret weapon. When you repeat someone's own language back to them, their exact phrasing, their emotional tone, it disarms their defenses. Why? Because it proves you heard them. and being heard is the deepest human craving. Use their words, not yours. If someone says, "I'm tired of surviving," don't talk about financial planning. Talk about what it feels like to finally breathe. If they say, "I want to prove them wrong," don't give them growth strategies. Give them power. Your goal isn't to sound clever. Your goal is to sound like them, only louder, clearer, and more certain. That's how you become magnetic. That's how resistance vanishes. Not with persuasion, but with reflection. Not with pressure, but with precision. Speak to what they feel, reflect what they fear, and echo what they crave. And suddenly, money stops being a transaction and starts becoming transformation. Value isn't what you give, it's what they see. And most people are underpaid not because they're not valuable, but because they haven't mastered how to be perceived that way. This is where the halo effect becomes your hidden leverage. When people believe you are high value, they project that belief onto everything you touch: your offer, your price, your results. That's why two people can sell the same thing, and one charges 10 times more and gets it. Because the world doesn't pay for products, it pays for perception, and perception is emotional. Think about it. Nobody bought Steve Jobs' products because of their specs. They bought because he wrapped technology in identity, because he made them feel like visionaries, rebels, creators. That's your job too. You're not here to sell coaching or design or consulting. You're here to sell an upgraded identity. And the fastest way to do that? Emotional packaging. Tell stories. Use metaphors. Wrap your message in meaning that hits the unconscious mind. If you're a personal trainer, don't say, "I'll help you lose 10 pounds." Say, "I'll help you look in the mirror and finally smile." If you're a business mentor, don't say, "I help with growth." Say, "I turn hesitation into income." Stories bypass logic. Metaphors cut through resistance. Why? Because the unconscious mind doesn't speak spreadsheets. It speaks symbols. Use them. Frame your offer like a transformation, not a transaction. Describe the emotional before and after. Paint the tension. Show the gap. Then promise to bridge it. And here's a powerful trigger most miss: anticipation bias. People don't pay for what something is. They pay for what they believe it will make them feel. Anticipation is a drug. When you make someone believe something extraordinary is about to happen, their willingness to pay multiplies. Hype the possibility. Elevate the experience. Position your offer as the first domino in a chain reaction of success. When people start to see you as the beginning of their better future, price becomes irrelevant. Your money flow mirrors your ability to activate others. Period. If people aren't moving after they talk to you, you're not influencing, you're just informing. And information doesn't pay. Emotion does. Action does. Dale Carnegie understood this with surgical precision. He taught one rule that changed lives and bank accounts alike: make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. Not flattery, not manipulation, just truth, seen and reflected. Because when people feel seen, they move. And when they move, money moves too. Take the story of a struggling coach: smart, skilled, invisible. He tried ads, funnels, webinars. Nothing worked until he flipped the script. He stopped pitching. He started listening deeply. He asked clients why they hadn't bought before, what they feared, what they secretly wanted. And then he used their words, their stories, their doubts, and repeated them with empathy and certainty. The result? His income tripled, not from better copy, but from better connection. This is reflective influence. Speak less, listen more. Listen not just to what they say, but how they say it. What lights them up? What shuts them down? What do they repeat when they think no one's listening? That's their internal economy. That's where their money decisions live. Map it, study it, echo it. You'll be shocked at how fast people open their wallets when they feel someone finally gets them. And here's the paradox. Silence is often more profitable than speech. Most people are so eager to prove themselves that they miss the gold in the gap. But when you pause, when you let silence stretch just long enough, the truth comes out. That's when people reveal the real reason they haven't acted. And if you're patient, they'll sell themselves on your offer without you ever needing to pitch it. You don't need more noise. You need more mastery. Influence isn't in the volume, it's in the vibration. Make them feel important, listened to, and understood, and they'll want to pay you just to stay in your orbit. You should never have to convince someone to pay you. If you do, you've already lost. True influence doesn't push, it pulls. And Dale Carnegie mastered this with what I call the anticipation trick. Make them believe it was their idea. This is psychological judo. Instead of shoving your value at them, you create space for them to step into it. You plant a vision, hint at a better future, stir curiosity, and then let them connect the dots. When people feel ownership of the decision, they fight to defend it, including with their wallet. This is emotional posture. It's how you walk into a room, how you carry your presence, the energy behind your words. People can smell desperation. They can feel insecurity. And if your presence says, please buy from me, you've already lost. But if your energy says, I don't need this, I'm here to serve, something shifts. Trust expands. Resistance collapses. Influence begins. You don't need to be arrogant, just anchored, grounded, certain. That certainty is magnetic. And then comes the reverse mirror. Most people try to sell the dream, but dreams are soft, uncertain, vague. Fear, on the other hand, is sharp, specific, real. If you want to move people, don't just show them what they could gain. Show them what they could lose by staying the same. Let them feel the cost of inaction. Let them taste regret in advance. Because people don't move for possibility. They move to escape pain. When you mirror their fear, when you give them a glimpse of what happens if they don't act, the decision becomes urgent. This is the true art of attraction. Make them want it, own it, and fear losing it, all before you ever ask for $1. That's not manipulation. That's mastery. And when you lead like that, people will thank you for selling to them, because it didn't feel like selling. It felt like being seen. Your words are your wealth, and most people are sabotaging their value without even knowing it. They're not losing sales because of bad offers. They're losing them because of bad signals. Every tone, every micro-expression, every word choice is either building authority or destroying it. And most don't realize they're leaking doubt with every breath. Dale Carnegie didn't just teach what to say, he taught how to say it. Because people don't hear what you mean, they hear what you project. Start with tone. If your voice wavers, your price drops. If your pacing is rushed, you look uncertain. If your volume shrinks when you say the number, they feel your fear. And here's the deeper truth. Your tone tells them how much you believe in yourself. If you hesitate, they hesitate. If you sound unsure, they pull back. But when you speak with calm conviction, not hype, not arrogance, but anchored energy, they lean in. They want to believe you, but only if you sound like someone who believes in themselves. Now look at your vocabulary. Are you using words of power or words of permission? Do you say, I think, or I know? Do you hope to help, or do you guarantee transformation? Your language teaches people how to see you, so stop being casual. Stop softening your value with disclaimers. Start using language that reflects leadership, confidence, certainty. Here's the Carnegie challenge. Record your pitch. Listen to it as if you were a prospect. Would you buy from you? Or would you scroll past? Would you feel magnetized or mildly interested? Count the number of times you hedge, soften, or justify. That's money left on the table. Rewrite it. Rewire it. Own your message like your bank account depends on it, because it does. You don't need more tactics. You need more truth, more posture, more emotional precision. Your words are currency. Your presence is leverage. Your silence is strategy. And when you master this, money doesn't chase you. It obeys you. You are not a commodity. You are a catalyst. Say it. Act like it. Decide now and become impossible to ignore.